One, he said, you need to identify the three things. The reason why you want to visit has to be genuine. That's the first thing these people want to know. Number two, can you afford to pay for your ticket and for the money that you'll spend when you're out there? That's number two. Number three, what attachments do you have back here that will make you come back? Very important. I always encourage young people, please, you don't have bank statements because you want to put a big money or whatever. Just have that bank statement for transactions. It was quite a difficult time for me. It was quite a difficult. But one thing I said, and I want to say this because I'm a Christian, if you have faith, if you believe and trust in God, He will always answer your prayers. Even if I was to invest again, I would still invest with Centum Real Estate. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Diaspora Spotlight. On today's Spotlight, I have with me Ken Gathere. He is a Kenyan by birth and origin, but has found his wings in another community in Redding. I welcome him to tell us his story and who he is, what he does, and what he's doing back in Kenya.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this privilege. You got me a bit off guard, busy schedule. My name's Ken Maria Gathere, a father of two, a husband of one, Hannah Mbogwa. Where do I start?
Where are you from in Kenya?
Where am I from? From Kenya. I'm from Kiamba. School-wise, born in Nazareth Hospital, which is just about a few kilometers from here. So here I'm very much at home. Went to school, primary school, all my education, primary school. I went to Tigoni Primary School. And surprisingly, the other day, as I was checking my things 2 days ago, I found my leaving certificate for O-levels, primary, and I sent them to my kids, and I was saying, look, my results. And one of them was sending me back, he says, how did you get these grades? And the way you tried to push it, you're not doing very well. So probably I wasn't best in education, but I kept moving. So went to Tigoni Primary, from pre-unit to standard 8, did my KCPE, something, 1989, then joined City High, was in City High from 1, from 2, 3, and 4, and then from there joined Career Training Center. My passion was in hotel industry. I joined Career Center for 2 years, then went to Utalii, and when I graduated in 1996, my first employment was in China Garden, which is just here, opposite the UN, and next to the new US embassy.
Oh, wow.
Worked there for, at that time I was 9, I was 86, I was 21.
Oh, wow.
21, so I get my first job 6 months later. As I'm driving to my up country, I decided to stop at the Kentmere Club, and somehow they needed, they were looking for, there were some vacancies, so I put in my application, and they gave me a job where I worked from 96, 97, 98 until 2003 when I left for the UK. So this is the interesting bit. So in Kentmere, that's where I met my missus the first time, was in college.
Wow.
So she came, we were in the same, I was a year ahead, so they were doing attachment, and I happened to come to the college, and the tutor introduced them, and they said, well, can somebody talk to this new whatever about the industry, and that's the first time I saw her. So then later on, having not known that she lives near these sides of Kiambu, she came to the Kentmere Club, the mom was supplying some products, and that time the mom was not available, so she came. And that's when I saw her, and I was like, this lady, she looks good, we started chatting, and she said, I know you, how? Oh, I met you at Career Center. Okay, then we started chatting, and there was an old young man who was inducting me and who was very close, and I said to him, Peter Mushoki, a guy from Mombasa. At that time he was like almost 70 years, and I said, Mushoki, I can tell you for a fact I've got a wife here. Trust me, out of nowhere, I'm telling you. So yeah. And then the whole thing went on. So I said, okay, I'll see you in the evening. I passed by their place, had a chat, and then the whole thing is history. So then now what happens? So we meet 96, and then we start dating. I'd never thought about going abroad. But I think the mom was well connected, and that time people were going outside the country, and she happened to mention to her that if she was interested, and trust me, the first thing she said, no. And the reason now she tells me why, it's because she had just met this young man that still she felt this is the person I would want to settle with, and then the mom is coming with big plans. We're going to the UK, go to the UK. People are making money, and I can tell you for a fact it was kind of a tug of war between the mom and herself. And until one time I said to her, you know what, I can promise you one thing. In our family, we've never had this thing about abroad, and I've never been interested. I'm not sure how my mom, I'm the last born, by the way, a family of 6, the last born, very close to my mom. Went to school, day school, went to secondary school, day school. I'd never lived outside my mom's compound, and I was mommy's boy, and my brother would attest to that. Even my sisters, they know how close my mom was. So I wasn't sure how this is going to work. So you're going, then I promised her, you know what, if you go, I'll convince my mom, and if things work on that end, I'll join you 100%. It wasn't easy, even for her, but I promised her, and I would like my brother to give that interview, because we took her to the airport with him.
Which year was that?
That was 98 April. Oh, 98 April. You can't believe it that how tearful I was after she left. Because as soon as she boarded, my brother was like, I'm not sure you'll ever see. His first comment was he had met her because they had all my siblings had met her, and my brother for the first time he says, hey, that chick is very beautiful. Then when the flight took off, he said, I don't think you'll ever see that girl again. And that is the first time I realized, you never know what you have until you lose it, and that is the first time it hit my mind. This lady has taken off. I don't have a passport, I don't have a visa, I don't even know how to go about it. I have no clue about anything finance-wise or anything, and I'm thinking, I think she's gone. So what happens is she goes, of course it's that bit of first years, settling and whatever, and she's sending me messages and saying, you know what, it's not easy here to settle, I think I'll prefer to come back and all this. And I kept on encouraging her, you know what, just try, and I'm sure it's going to work, I'm okay here, still at Kentmere. So by God's grace, around 2000, I got an opportunity through Kentmere Club, and that's why I say to you, there's friendship and connections. From Kentmere Club, I was able to introduce myself to a man who I still hold dearly, Jenga Karume, and I was like one time voted the best employee of the year. And as I was speaking to Karume, who was the director, I said the only thing I would want is an exposure to visit a country abroad. We spoke with Karume, whose memory was amazing, and he came back to me about 6 months later. It was on a Sunday, and he told the manager, please, can you give Gathere a letter of a country of his choice to apply the visa, and Kentmere Club will pay for everything.
Wow.
Yep, that's how it started, that's how it was, and I was first to say, you know what, I want to go to the UK. Now I'm thinking this is an opportunity now to go and meet my missus, my girlfriend at that time. So what happens now? There is a bit of the pocket money. My brothers are like, how is this going to happen? Even da 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 da. I meet during my time in Kent. I met a one person that is still dear to me. He's still there. I last met him about 15 years ago. Pelican Mike Minor. If you're there watching this, Pelican, I still salute you for our friendship and what you did for me in my time in Kentmere. So Pelican now is about the pocket money. He comes there. I have identified his likes and whatever, and we became very, very good friends. You know the owner of Mabwa, Pelican, Mike Minor. You can Google, multi-billionaire. Yeah. So that's how then the journey started. Once the papers were ready for to apply the visa, my lucky day is always on Tuesdays. So on Tuesdays I was up Upper Hill. I took a motorbike to the embassy. I had gone through another good friend of mine who is still there called Peter Nyoro. I'm in Kenya. I'm looking for you, my brother. So he had siblings who are in the US. Mm-hmm. So we were going through what requirements the embassy would want, and I want to say this so that people can know it's always easy, and there are things that you can do for yourself. So he said, you need to identify the three things. The reason why you want to visit has to be genuine. That's the first thing these people want to know. Number two, can you afford to pay for your ticket and for the money that you'll spend when you're out there? That's number two. Number three, what attachments do you have back here that will make you come back? I have this, I'm married, I have a good job, whatever, or a decent paying job, all those types of things, your attachments to the country, those things. So in that time I was working within those three things, and unfortunately, behind my mom's back, I went and stole some title deeds, did an affidavit that I'm the son of the late John Kinyanjui Gathere and Elizabeth Bombi, that we are 6 siblings, and then I mentioned all the titles with their whatever number, and I'm a beneficiary of all these properties, and the case is still in succession thing, so I have interest with these properties. Then my bank statement, very important. I always encourage young people, please, you don't have bank statements because you want to put a big money or whatever. Just have that bank statement for transactions. So all those things, single, I have a job, I attach some letters. There's some white guy in Connecticut, I can't remember his name, I still have his letter. He went and came in, and I attended to them very well. When they went back to the US, he wrote me a very nice letter of my hospitality, because I even took time off work to take them around the coffee plantation within Kentmere, and they really appreciated it. Wrote me a very good letter. The letter was there attached for my services. Boom. So I went, Mr. Lambert, I still remember his name. You gave me my first visit to the UK. Thank you, and may God bless you wherever you are. So I went for this interview. A young man, 21, I think I was 22 years at that time. Of course, he wants to leave the country. He's not coming back, but he's going for a visit. As much as Karume, Kentmere, Mike Minor did everything, now it was me to do my bit with the embassy. Is it luck? Of course there is luck, but you need just to be confident. And again, fighting your case, talking of, because definitely the embassy will never ask you of things that you've not said. So whatever you put in there, please, just know how it needs to be true. So among other things that person took was an article, of a newspaper article that when my mom passed on, when my dad passed on, there's somebody who had claimed to be part of the whatever. So there was a case going on, and there was an article in the newspaper. So I attached that article. So the moment he raised that article, what is this article? And I said, this is a lady who tried to claim my dad's property after he had played whatever. That case is in court. I'm still an interested party in that. Job certificate thing, and then all those things, and then he asked me a very interesting question. Why is it that out of all the countries you chose to go to the UK? Now this is a tricky one. I wouldn't say I know anyone there. There was no way I was going to talk about I'm joining my whatever, so I needed to come up with something, and by God's grace, I say the reason why I want to go to the UK, my first choice country would have been Germany, but I'm not fluent in Germany, but English I can speak, I can express myself. So and that was it. So he said, come at 2 p.m. And collect your visa. And then he asked me, so you work with the company, I want to be a member. And I said, don't worry, I'll bring you the membership forms tonight. And because it was all genuine, as I'm picking the whatever, so I went and brought the application, whatever, picked my visa, and that was it. But it was quite an intense interview. As young as I was, I was earning about less than 5,000. So you can see, that was 96, between 96 going to whatever.
Was that a lot of money in that era?
It was. But you see what happens in the hotel industry, you get like the service charge, 15s, yeah. But in terms of my transactions, everything that was paid went through my account, and that was building up my statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is how the journey started. So I went, visited her. That was 2000 February. So I go there, stay, visit her for a month. Things are quite hard. Things are not working. And I was like, I can't survive here. It's quite difficult. And for some reasons, I had to come back. So I came back. We're still in communication. We are working out things. And I'm like, you need to come back. And then 2001, my sister who was here, the younger one, got an opportunity to go to the US. And I was like, okay, supported her. So she left. That is in September. And that was a turning point. That is September 2002. As soon as she left, February 14th again, I took my flight to the UK, put in a resignation, and I was destined. Now I'm going to the UK to stay with the person that I've known for over 30 years and who later became my wife, and my friend, my partner, and my mother of 2 kids, 2 boys. So that's how I ended up. That time, the first time she was living in London when I went in 2000. This time she had moved to a town called Reading, a town that I call home now, a town that I've lived for over 25 years. So that's how the journey started.
I am interested in meeting her. I don't know if you're getting this, but did you hear the description? Did you hear the details? This man has the dates. Let someone not tell you they can't remember your anniversary, they lie and they don't love you. So tell me about Reading, because now you've arrived there, you
Reading,
met
yes.
your wife.
Yep.
How do you integrate into the community?
Yes, I meet a very young Kenyan community in Reading. And I say everybody with their gift. So my gift was more like coordinating even back here. Having worked in the hotel industry, you talk with people, you try to organize. We are having a banquet in whatever, we need to arrange this, and you need to bring the team together, because you have to work for a team to get success. So out of that, when I landed in the UK, I realized there were some challenges that people were going through, and again, thanks to my missus, sister-in-law, I cannot at any time say that I went through any difficulties in my stay in Kenya, in UK. I know people go through difficult things. I've always said that is a testimony, and I always thank God for that. I was taken care of from the first day, and name it, everything was going very well. So then I find there's some challenges, bereavement, many challenges, people being ill, not able to go to work, and so I started building a networking. At that time, there was a guy called Tony Maura, a great man who is still there. He was the chairman of the community, trying to bring the community together. But maybe he wasn't able to reach out to people that I had were in my wife's circle. Maybe I had something he didn't have. So we worked together and we brought in a very good, solid community thing in terms of support system. If someone, if there was a bereavement, we would be able to raise money, make sure that that person gives their beloved one the decent thing. The bigger challenges, and one of the biggest challenges that I ever faced was one, and I remember the ladies that I met in Reading, a lady who passed on from Reading. She was kind of a private person, not known. So she passed on. The mom flew in, trying to work out on repatriating the body. She didn't know anyone. And then she reached out to some ladies. I remember one of the ladies was the late Mary Gathere. There was a Bishop Tanui. There was Jacinta Kababa. And they approached me and they said, young man, we need you to come and help us. And work out how are we going to help this lady. To cut the short story, we never had WhatsApp. We went door to door seeking for funds, and I can tell you we were able to raise enough money to repatriate the body and pay for that lady's air ticket. She was a lady from Nyanza. Without we didn't know her. You can imagine now raising funds without the WhatsApp or messages, but we were able to. A lady we didn't know. I think that was a turning point for me. And then since then, now they were like, "Oh, you're the chairman," because I was chairing, and I became the chairman of the community. That was back in 2004. You can imagine I was just 1 year. So since then, we've supported so many causes, medical, bereavement. Just list early this year, there was I'm sure TKDM covered that story of a man who was found lying down and we were able to come together again to make sure that the wishes of those parents, if they wanted the body back home. So we've faced so many challenges. Then 2013, very difficult year for me. 2012, in December, my sister called me and said, I have spoken to mom back home and I don't think she's not feeling well. And that was the first time. She was about 74. My dad passed in 1984. And now you're going to know my age because 1984, I was 9 years. So I grew up knowing my mom as my dad, my mom, and my everything. So it was quite difficult. So we went fast track, boom, we need to get her medical attention, And come January 3rd, 2013, she had a biopsy result from MP Shah Hospital and she was diagnosed with esophagus cancer. It was quite a difficult time for me. But one thing I said, and I want to say this because I'm a Christian, if you have faith, if you believe and trust in God, He will always answer your prayers. The only prayer I ask God is, it doesn't matter what happens, because I know cancer is big. It's not about financial, it's not about which hospital. But I say the only thing I'll pray you, God, please don't let my mom suffer. And true to my word, 3 months later, after being diagnosed, after starting the chemo, 3 months later on March 30th, 2013, she went to be with her Lord on a Saturday morning at Cancer Hospital in Hurlingham. Quite difficult. I could not believe it. I didn't know how to cope with it. Somebody that was so close to me. But of course, with the support of my wife, who had lost the mom 2 years before, I was able to compose myself. Then what happens? So there's now the burial and all these arrangements. So the community came through for me. As much as at that particular time, you can help people, but you never know until it happens to you. Yeah. So they came through for me, and through their blessing, the people of Reading and our friends, you gave my mom a decent send-off. You also facilitated my family and my extended family, my sister-in-law and her family, to attend the burial.
You flew back to Kenya?
Sorry?
You flew back to Kenya?
I flew back to Kenya, yes, with my family now. Family of 4 and my sister-in-law as well, and we came for the burial. That was and that was that, and that was 30th of March. That when she passed on. Again, March is very whatever for me. My dad had passed on the 27th of March 1984, so you can see there's something. Even our travel dates, you can link them now around this time. So we also come to kind of pay
your
respects. Yes. So and that was that. So now going to the family fund day, and I'm sure this will bring to thing. Mm-hmm. So the following year, I've attended someone's event. Mr. Maganjo, he's here in Kenya. His daughter's christening. So we go to this park This is a kind of a nice, well set up in a very posh place. And I'm talking to two of my friends, one Alex and a lady called Belinda. And I say to them, I would want to appreciate people who supported me during my difficult and then what I can do is do a small nyama choma thing and then invite them over the summer holidays. So that's the first time we do the family fun day, or what is now known as a family fun day. So we do a small nyama choma, invite people, I paid for everything, my friends supported, tukachomea watu nyama, wakakuja, they ate, and they were like, what is happening here? Is Ken starting something? Who is funding this? And I know many of my friends who are close to me were like, this man is getting money from I don't know what circle and all this. At least today they know that was in the course. It was given back to the community for what they had done. So that is how the thing grew. And for the first 7 years we were giving free food, free whatever, until it came to a point where we realized we can't afford, it was not sustainable. And the thing was growing from the first one we did with about 150 people to now the current one we had last year with over 3,000 people. It has grown bigger and better from a small vision of giving back to the community. And I said we can do this thing annually. Sitting with one of the greatest committee members, I want to give my thanks to one secretary who is now the treasurer, called King, a great man has been solid, because even in these big events, and I know even corporates and whatever, you always have the setbacks and the challenges. That guy has stood with me steadfast, and to this point I really respect what he's done and his contribution. So then how did we bring in the corporates or the sponsors? How did I come to know the Centum, the TKDM, the Optiven, the NCBA Bank, and Username, and all these Savo? So we realized we are not able to fund this budget. Then we realized, what about if we approach businesses? But also, one of our objectives is empowering people. And many of the events, things that used to happen, big companies coming, they used to be hosted in London. And we're like, how can we bring these people in the outskirts? Because London is kind of, Reading is in the outskirts. It's far from London. So we don't want this capital thing where everybody goes to London. How would we empower people? So we thought, what about if we approach the Royal Berkshire, that is the medical team, the police, to come and share what their experiences with people in a very informal way. What about these people who are selling a thing na mtu pengine is not able to travel, or people have invested and then pengine wamechezwa? How do we get to know all these experiences? I think if we bring these people to our people, they can be able to. So we started approaching companies. Please, we can offer you this small whatever. Come and promote your product. Come and listen to people on one-to-one. Watch hizi mambo za go-betweens where you're getting message from a third party. Come and talk in real time with these people and see some of their challenges. That is how it started. And at some point I met Centum through a lady called Patricia. Very nice lady. I'm still in contact with her. Patricia was before COVID, 2018. 2019. Yeah, but 2018. That's when I met Centum, and the first time I see Centum, and I'm thinking, really, Centum here?
Lie at first.
I'm telling you, and I'm thinking, who will buy these properties of billions? I'm thinking this thing with the Kirubi, with the big boys. I'm thinking, no. I don't think they're in the right market. Until now, when I got to know them, and I knew, there's everything for everyone. They've tried to diversify and make sure that there's a property for everyone. That's how I came to meet Centum. Was I interested in at first? Absolutely no. So I meet them, and then now, about 3 years later, I'm hosting Centum again in Reading.
They have come
big dinner,
as a corporate.
Yes, TKDM, big man, Moses Rangat, calls and says, I've been told if I need Kenyans in Reading, you're the guy. And Halima. And Halima says, I can do it. I say, Halima, I don't want to do this. This is for big people. No, he says, no, Ken, let's do this. And I hosted them dinner, big time, about 200 people. They sold their product. Mr. Mbai came, and that's the first time I also meet Martin, a great man, very humble. And I take my hat off for Martin, because if it was not Martin, I would never have invested in Centum. So as I'm talking the following day with my missus, I said, there's this guy in Centum who has invited me for, that is the day after. So Martin talks to me and then he says, you come and see me tomorrow and we can talk through this. So I say, my missus, let's go with you. I still have that photo we took outside Hilton Hotel with my missus and Martin. And we go with Martin, and I take my wife and said, you know what, we don't have to buy. Like, but this guy, you know, he's quite persistent. And let's just go and just make whatever. So we went with my missus and sat there, and Martin explained to us, broke down everything in terms of payment. And I'm like, you know, we having another project. How will this work? And women are women. She was like, her heart was going for it, and I could see.
Oh, wow.
And Martin, I say to Martin, so how do we go? Martin says, whatever, let's open an account, just put what you have. I said, Martin, I have 20,000 in my account. He says, Ken, that is what we'll put it. So I want to say to people, do not fear this investment. Talk to these people. They are human, they are understanding. Even these biggest corporates, they know people who can facilitate your payment. But I can tell you, from that meeting and the commitment, I was able to bring in several people on board. One of them or two of them are my sisters who have accompanied me here. They've invested, they've put money, good value for money. The place is awesome. I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to brag or whatever, but I'll tell you, even if I was to invest again, I would still invest with Centum Real Estate. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Actually, talking about Centum Real Estate, they are the host of today's show. We are at Cascadia Apartment. This particular building is a 2-bedroom, and you can see the aesthetic, you can see the ease in luxury, you can see how comfortable it looks. Can you imagine this as your home? It looks like buying into a lifestyle and buying into a dream. And as you've said, there is a plan, and it's value for money, in my opinion. It's open for everybody from the diaspora and even in Kenya. You're welcome to talk to them, and it's a good plan. And you see, when you hear someone from our own country telling us that this is something good, I would say it's the biggest act of patriotism when you come back to invest in Kenya.
Thank you.
You could have taken that money anywhere else.
Thank you.
You brought it back home.
100%. I was, you know, before when we went around, I took a video. And I sent it to my kids, and I said, you know, look at your new home, look at what you have here. This is a first world Kenya, a complex with everything, from a shopping mall to the cinema theater to a football pitch to go-karting for your kids. And one of the things why I invested here, more of it is not my investment. This place I invested for my kids, because I want them to feel at home and to see that whatever they have in the UK, they can have it here. And because I've always said personally I would want to retire here, this is where they would be coming with their family to stay. They want to come and see me up country, but I tried something that would connect with them. And I want to say, I'm sure Eric and Ryan, this is a place that you love, and this is your home. Kenya is your country. You know my passion for Kenya, and I love you so much. Thank you.
That's really nice. So I know you have an event coming up in August.
In August, here we go. I don't know whether I said the chairman and the founder of what we now know and love, the Kenyan Redeemed Family Fund Day, our 11th anniversary, a place you would want to be. There's everything for everyone, from sports to music. A free day, an open day, no formalities. Come with your shuka, sit down there, relax, have your picnic, enjoy. Come and meet many sponsors that we have, many corporates. Come and meet them in real time, live. Talk to them on one-to-one, and you will not regret. From Royal Berkshire for medical assistance, anything, to land buying companies, to apartments, to banks. This is a place at no cost. Please come, share your time with us. The entry fee is just a $5, because I've always said the Kenyans Redeemed Family Fund is not commercial. It's giving back to the community. It's connecting the community, because unity is strength, divided we fall. Our unity is our strength. We look forward to seeing you on the 1st of August 2026 on our 11th anniversary. Thank you, good people. To Centum, thank you. You've paid for me a 3 nights at Vipingu, I think 4 nights. I'll be there on the 20th. Thank you so much, courtesy of Centum. We love you. I'll be in Vipingu. I've never been to Mombasa. I've never been to Kilifi. First time, courtesy of Centum. Asanteni sana. For you and your team, thank you so much. Taking time. Love you. I look forward to hosting you. I'm a great host in Reading. Talk to Martin and the others and they'll tell you. I try to make time and also make sure that I make you feel at home. You're most welcome. Save my number. My number is out there. +44 79 39 38 116. Ken Gathere, Ken chairman of KRFD. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Kenny.
Oh, better known as Kenny.
Thank you very much for making the time to talk to us today and for the very kind words that you said. What I've heard through this entire time is a man who's been built by relationships, because I haven't heard a single time where you said, I did this or I was able to do this. You've attributed each and every part of your success to somebody, and I think that's something that people should really take away, that the relationships that you have do take you somewhere. You should tell people about, destiny connectors and how that culminates into life. It is nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And I think we should find everybody that you've, attributed your success to, and really tell them that they did shape a life.
Please do, please do. And that is my testimony. And as we walk out, I want you to talk to my brothers. Tell them to just quote that bit that I've said to you, that what I feel, what my life has been, and the support that I've got through people, and those people who changed my life. And I try to reciprocate the same in terms of supporting in education, in terms of helping in medical, people with medical challenges, and anything that I can. People can tell you in Reading, I've supported so many people in terms of networking them, getting them places to work. Your first time in the UK, you don't know what, connecting people. That I've had that passion, but to me, I always say it's giving back what I've received. Trust me.
Okay, thank you very much, dear viewers. It's been me, your host, Maria Njoroge, and today's episode has been courtesy of Centum Re. We do look forward to showing you some of their properties and what they have. Till next time, see you.
Thank you.